The following is a production of cprundown.com. The views and opinions expressed by the hosts of this podcast are those of the individual and not of any affiliated companies. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Rundown on Fun, a weekly podcast covering the Six Flags Entertainment Corporation, the amusement industry, and everything to do with fun. Here are your hosts, Carsten Anderson, Evan Schultz, and Kyle Hu.
Welcome to this episode of the Rundown on Fun, your weekly podcast where we cover Cedar Point, Six Flags news, and everything to do with fun. And I am currently traveling to Cedar Point, not physically right now. I stopped and I'm recording this in a parking lot over here and getting gas. But anyway, enough about me. The guys, unfortunately, they've been burning the candle on both ends of the stick, both Evan and also Kyle. So they will not be joining me today. But I do want to. I was like, well, we could skip a week, but I was like, you know what? I was like, why don't we have a chat? And the chat is something that was a complete blunder on my part and everything. And last episode, we talked about everything, pretty much got everybody all up to date. You know, we were talking about barrels and bites and things like that. What we didn't talk about was CoasterMania. I went to CoasterMania, and I thought it was great. It was, you know, we got to the park really early in the morning. It was just like a CoasterMania day. You know, there was ERT in the morning, and then there was also ERT at night. The only thing that was different with this CoasterMania than previous CoasterManias within the past few years is there was no boat cruise. I didn't mind it. It wasn't too bad. It was a perfect day, like actual temperature wise, things like that. Also, I do want to shout out, finally, it's got its monkey off its back, is Top Thrill 2, operated for early entry. It operated for the whole, like pretty much almost the whole entire day. And then also, it did not have any hiccups or anything like that for the ERT at the end of the night. And I think I got at least maybe 10 rides, maybe a little bit less during ERT. There wasn't as many people there for it, and it was also turning out a lot of people as well, which was really fun. But also, I do want to shout out that, speaking of Top Thrill, I believe, don't quote me on this, but I believe, I'll report on the next podcast, I believe they're running all three trains. I believe they are running all three trains, and they are, the black train is back on the track and most likely got certified. And if they're running all three trains, that line's definitely going to move, which is a really, really good sign. Well, looks like it might. Just looking outside my window here, looks like there's a storm rolling in. Unfortunately, so this is a Thursday night. I'm going up there to catch a meal and hopefully get a ride on Top Thrill 2 and things like that. But anyway, yeah. So CoasterMania was extremely fun. You know, Tony was there. You know, the food was great. The ERT sessions in the morning and stuff like that. That was phenomenal. It was just like a CoasterMania that, you know, we know and expect. I know a lot of people, you know, wanted something else. I do have to say, the behind the scenes tour was definitely something different than what we have gotten in the past, to where I thought we were going to just take pretty much like a behind the scenes tour of Maverick. That's what we were doing. And what we were going to do is, it was going to be, pretty much like, Cutthroat Cove's, the trail in the park, anything for like Hollow weekends and stuff. There's like a actual trail around underneath Maverick and stuff. Well, they've done a tour in that area previous, years and stuff. I was like, okay, you know, whatever. So we walk over there and, and I'm like, oh, okay. So they actually let us go all the way, like on a dirt path, whatever. We got to go all the way over by where the opposite side of the station was, so we were able to get pictures of the trains coming opposite. So we were like in the middle of the infield, but really close to where you stop and park and wait for the train to move forward and stuff. So we got some really cool pics there. That's and then also that's also where the train goes flying down, into the covered tunnel, and and all that fun stuff and everything. So there's that, and then also there's we were walking down and we could actually see. We walked right next to the tunnel. Now, obviously, it was almost like winter chill out, but it wasn't, to where we were walking by the tunnel, and obviously everything's closed up, for safety reasons because the ride's actually running. But we were really, really close to the tunnel, and we could see the first hill, and then we could see, the drop and stuff. Really cool seeing different areas and getting different kind of pictures that we've gotten before and stuff, which I thought that was pretty cool to see that. And so then, taking pictures, and then we also got to go on the trail and stuff. It was almost like a giant big circle and stuff, where we were able to take pictures and get everything of what we were wanting and stuff. And again, shout out to Cedar Point for pivoting and, seeing that Morning Rush, people were not happy about Morning Rush. I'm curious to see if Morning Rush will come back in some kind of capacity, or if it's just we're not going to do that at all kind of thing. I wouldn't mind doing something like that. The shirt I thought was pretty cool. Maybe some of the rides could have been maybe a little bit different or something like that if they decided to do something. But again, huge shout out to Cedar Point for pivoting and seeing that that's not what the guests or the fans want, and them just being like, okay, let's do CoasterMania, and pulled it out of their pocket and got that going. So, and then another thing I do wanted to say was shout out to everyone that came to the Snap, Ride and Snap. It's going to take a little while for me to get used to it because I always want to say Snap and Ride, but Ride and Snap, and was Gemini and stuff. Probably within the next few weeks or so, we will probably do another one, and maybe we'll do a last ride of the night or something on Millennium Force, and see how well that turns out. And it's not just us, like, trying to, put on something or anything like that. We're just trying to give back to you guys a little bit. And we also are trying to be able to put this platform out there, so that way you can meet new people and maybe create new friendships, and things like that. So that's kind of like what the whole idea behind that is. And maybe, just maybe, I don't know for sure, but maybe one day we'll have a CP rundown, like, I don't know, event. It'll be maybe like a CoasterMania, but obviously not as extravagant, but it could maybe be like ERT on a coaster, and I think you have to get a meal and stuff. But again, that's long-term thinking about it. But in other news, Tormenta, Six Flags over Texas, I believe it was supposed to have its media day around-ish or something like that. Like I think this week or maybe next week or something. And then I think there was also supposed to have a photo shoot with it and stuff, and have like a commercial shoot and stuff. Well, anyway, it looks like they released a statement saying that they're going to need a little bit more time commissioning the ride, unfortunately. So that did not open as of yet. Hopefully it'll open very, very soon, because I know I don't know about Evan and Kyle, but I'm excited to try the Giga Dive. If you look up pictures of it online and stuff, it's pretty interesting. Like, it is the dive obviously looks like almost like Valraven, but it's cool because it's like another 100 feet taller. So I'm curious on like how it's all gonna like feel and come about, and so on and so forth. So hopefully, Six Flags over Texas will be able to get that ride buttoned up and open to the public here very, very shortly. And I'm trying to think if I have anything else to say. Unfortunately, I think this is just going to be a shorter episode. We will have an episode next week. Hopefully, the guys will be able to join me, and we will talk a little bit about probably prepping you for the 4th of July. If you plan on going to 4th of July at Cedar Point and stuff, they're going to be having a week-long celebration. I know that, where they're going to have what is it? They're going to have fireworks, obviously, on 4th of July. That's around 10 o'clock or so. Or I'm sorry, is it 10 o'clock? And it's supposed to be one of the biggest fireworks that Cedar Point has put on. There's also going to be like a VIP viewing area where you can get a reserved seat on the beach, which is really nice. It's like a chair, so you don't have to worry about anything. You get a Star Spangled snack pack, bottled beverage, and an exclusive access to the beach bar that they're going to have over there too, which is cool. And then they're going to have some more different food items and stuff, and we'll get into that next week when we talk a little bit more about Kyle's trip, because he surprised all of us and was like, "Oh, hey, I'm in town for a wedding. I'm going to Cedar Point." And I believe he was able to ride Top Thrill. He was able to ride Siren's Curse. It's not number 3 or number 2. I'm sorry, it's a top 3 coaster in the park for him, and it's not number 3 and number 2. So you can definitely put that into to what it is. But yeah, I mean, the summer's flying by. I do remember hearing something about that on when Tony has that radio program that he goes on weekly. He talks a little bit about some rumors and things like that. And supposedly he's got some things to share with Hollow Weekends, because unfortunately the season's gonna come, and it's gonna flip, and then it's gonna be fall before you know it, unfortunately. But let's enjoy the summertime and stuff and everything. But anyway, so what I was talking about, he said that there's going to be some new exciting details that he will share at a later time. So I don't know if it's going to be like new houses, or if it's going to be new zones, or so on and so forth. So a lot of things to look forward to. Yeah, I don't think I have anything else to do besides me going and driving the rest of the way. I think I got like maybe 10 minutes or so. Shout out really quick. If anyone likes to take coolers with them and have like cold drinks and stuff and everything, always have to stop for ice. I actually bought myself it plugs into the car, but it's pretty much like a car cooler or car refrigerator, I think is what it's called. But anyway, they have where you plug in like the cigarette lighter or a 9-volt and things like that. Well, when your car is running, it cools it. And right now, currently, I'm not sure if you're going to be able to hear any of the back noise, but I've got some cold waters in my car that I have in this cooler, and this cooler got down, not even kidding you, I've been driving for maybe 25 minutes or so. It is 3 degrees in that cooler. There's no ice packs and things like that. So if you are looking to take a road trip somewhere and you don't always want to put ice in a cooler and mess around with ice packs and so on and so forth, look into something like this, because again, it's going to make my road trips a lot fun, because I'll throw some Gatorades in there, some water, and at least stay hydrated, because next week, if you are in the Ohio area or going to Cedar Point or Kings Island for that matter, it's going to be really, really hot. I think the heat index is going to be around, I don't know, like 100 degrees or so. And I think it's supposed to be like around 90 to 95 degrees. It's going to be a very, very hot one. So it'll be really nice to stay hydrated and so on and so forth. Oh, really quickly, before I forget, make sure everyone checks their email. There was an email sent out from Six Flags talking about how we're a valued pass member, and that you can get a what is it? You can get a. I'm trying to pull this up here really quickly. Stand by. Let me see. To where you can get a. Oh, I should also say this too, because this will be released before we do this other podcast. Cedar Point is going to be selling pieces of Magnum. You'll be able to buy pieces of Magnum. Not sure how much they're going to be, but the slices go on sale 9 a.m. this Saturday morning, June 27th. And FYI, I'm probably going to just release this episode tonight, so that way everybody gets it. But yeah, so if you want to take home a piece of Magnum, you can purchase that, which is pretty nice. And then I was also trying to find that email, and unfortunately, I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it. Stand by real quickly. And don't you just love technology when it doesn't want to load? I guess I'm not in the greatest area, so that I can't complain. But yes, here we go. Okay. So the $10, so they said that we were going to get a $10 loyalty reward for the parks that closed, that the add-ons don't work. So like, for instance, when I went to Michigan's Adventure, my food pass or plan, all meal dining plan, all season, all meal dining plan, didn't work there, obviously. So they said when the parks were first announced to be being sold, they said that they were going to give us a $10 credit. We weren't sure exactly, what was going to come about of it. But anyway, if you check the app, if you don't see it and you have that, sign out, sign back in, and you should see it. And it says $10 credit where your pass perks should be. And like I said, you had to have the all-season dining plan. And it's available currently right now until July 31st. And it's only valid on basic food, beverage, and merchandise products. Exclusions apply, cannot be combined with promotions, offers, or rewards. And it says it's not valid on add-on products, single-day products, souvenir bottles or beverages, tasting cards, popcorn buckets and refills, alcoholic beverages, games, arcades, Build-A-Bear, photo products, tickets and season passes, resort/hotels, and Fastlane. Not valid for all that stuff that I just listed. But cool that we get $10 off of, something, if you see something in the park or want that souvenir or something like that, you can get $10, loyalty from in the park for, for the Enchanted Parks, taking off those parks and stuff like that, and doing that. So, but yeah, I think that's probably going to be about it. Again, we will have another episode this following week and stuff like that. But go get a piece of Magnum if you can. Not sure how much it'll be, but that's pretty cool to own a piece of history, because Magnum was the first hyper coaster, and started the Coaster Wars, if you want to say so. But again, thanks again for listening to me babble on. Hopefully I wasn't too annoying, and hopefully you didn't hear that awesome new refrigerator car thing that I got going on here too much. But again, thanks for listening, and we will talk to you guys next week, and stay hydrated. Thanks, guys.
Thanks for tuning in to the Rundown on Fun. Don't forget to follow us on social media for all the latest updates from Six Flags Entertainment. And remember, always be kind to your ride operators. See you soon.